Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So I am married, possibly separated from my spouse. I stay at home, and he is a breadwinner. I've raised our children, and I am not allowed to see any of our financial information, bank accounts, credit cards, passwords, nothing like that.
Yikes.
What do you mean you're not allowed?
I know. He just says that's how I was raised. I make the money, and he does very well.
I don't care if he makes $1 or $1 million. It has no bearing on your involvement in knowing what's going on financially in the family.
I know. And he just says, I won't. He owns commercial real estate. And so he tells me it's too much for you to handle. Stay in your lane.
So we call that financial infidelity.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've told him, and he just shakes his head at me. My therapist has said the same thing, and he just says, that's how I am, that's how my parents were, and I'm not changing.
All right, then here's the thing. Most people don't get that clear of a response. Now you have a choice to make.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish it wasn't this complicated. I mean, I wish it wasn't this simple, but it truly is.
He's told you he's not changing.
Yeah. And by the way, if you file for divorce and they do a forensic investigation into all of his / y'all's, because you're from Texas, y'all's money, it's all going to be put on the table. So he can be a grown-up adult and be an actual married man who loves and honors his wife and his kids and like share the family finances together, or he can put it all on the table with the help of an attorney and a forensic accountant that he's going to pay for.
So this is what has happened this is very different from what I've been told, is we did come up with a post-nuptial agreement about 2 years ago. And in his mind it was, if we separate, you will get this amount of money. Now stop talking about it. Now stop questioning me. So he says that if I go and investigate with this forensic accountant, that he will take that money away and he will try to take my children more.
Yeah, hon, you need to go talk to somebody today.
I've spoken to an attorney, and what they've said to me is, this is quite a good postnuptial agreement. I would be very comfortable, honestly, for the rest of my life. He has a lot of money in cryptocurrency that I know he's hiding, and I know that's really tough to investigate.
I don't understand what you're asking. If you have an exit strategy that's going to take care of you for the rest of your life and take care of you and your kids, I don't know what you're asking.
So should I just take the postnuptial agreement and let?
I can't give you that. That's between you and your lawyer. I can't. I mean, I'm not looking at it. I don't have it. I don't know what you're dealing with at home. I just know you're in a very abusive situation, and it's hard to see the forest from the trees. And I'm telling you that you're worth more than the life you're living right now.
And everybody thinks he's the sweetest guy.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I also have a disability that I'm unable to work. So I'm just real fearful that, I don't know,
listen, what you're doing is you have a lot of what ifs and a lot of, this is and that's, and then in 10 years and in 15 years, I want you to go sit down with an attorney. Not hem-haw, and don't send the post-nup to a friend of yours who happens to have a law degree. Hire a lawyer and go sit down and talk and say, I need to know what rights I have. Here's my disability. Here's my situation with my kids. I know my husband's hiding money. Here's the post-nup, and the attorney's job, because you're hiring them, is to advocate for you. And sometimes their advocate, like them being an advocate, is, hey, this is the best deal I've ever seen on paper. Take it and run. Sometimes they say, we're going to dig in and we're going to burn everything to the ground because this is a terrible deal. But that's their job, is to fight for you.
Think they can find cryptocurrency? Because I know that's so shady. It's such a weird...
Dude, you're like, you're stepping over $100 bills to pick up nickels right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're worried about the thread count on the beach towel you're going to wrap yourself up with if you swim to shore. Like, let's get to shore first.
What about him hiding? I know he hides money with his business partners. They like swap hundreds of thousands of dollars and put it in each other's accounts. And
like I say, what do you want me to tell you?
I don't know.
I think this is you starting to realize how angry and resentful you are living this life this whole time while he hid everything. But the truth is, like John's saying, it has no bearing. You have your agreement on what it says will happen, and that's what will happen if you take the agreement. And so he may have hidden money offshore. I have no idea, but it doesn't matter. Right now, this is about you and your kids and your health and your safety.
And if he's got a couple of business partners, and they're all laundering money and being shady and shifty, and they get a knock on the door from a federal investigator or from forensics accountants, and they get served for all of their last 7 years of financial transactions and every electronic transaction they have made, every electronic communication they've made, every email, every text, every signal, every WhatsApp, everything. And by the way, it's all discoverable. Then maybe they pucker up real quick and tell him to change his tune. But here's the thing. You won't know any of that just sitting in your house and spinning and spinning and looping and looping and looping. And that's what you've been doing for a long time, right?
Yeah, about 5 years now.
Let's stop. Let's take action.
Started.
Either make peace with this is my life and this is what we get, and he treats me fine. I just don't know how the money works. And maybe he does. I'm confident he doesn't treat you fine, because this isn't the behavior of somebody that treats their wife fine.
He thinks he's amazing to me, and he does everything else nicely but that. And then when I ask him, he gets real defensive.
Okay. So here's the deal. The ball is in your court, and you wondering about, well, what about this? And what about this? What about this? That's just a way to numb yourself from the reality that you are holding the next move you make. And if that next move is nothing, then set the ball down and just decide, I'm not going to ask questions about that. It is what it is, what it is.
Well, we're getting divorced. I mean, it's happening because he doesn't want to hear me complaining about it anymore.
Have you already filed? Or has he filed on you?
No, but he's moved out, and just the next step.
Okay. If you're going to file, then go hire an attorney. Do not get a friend who has a buddy who's got a sister who went to law school. Hire an attorney, a good one in your community, and for someone who will fight and advocate for you, and then sit down and lay it all out on the table. Right? But here's the thing. For you and for everybody listening, and I get it, it's fear, it's scary, and like freeze is one of the ways our bodies like try to keep us safe. I totally get it. But there comes a moment when I'm going to stop living like this, and the only way I can do it, I can't think my way out of this mess. I got to act. I got to go do. Michael Easter wrote a great article recently. Just go do something, right? And in your case, call an attorney who's ready to go to war for you. And sometimes in war, they say, hey, we need to retreat. Let's just take what we got and let's move. That might be the right case, but you won't know until you make that call.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.